Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Megaman Maker. During the last part, I covered a bunch of levels that I found on the most popular queue. So in this part, I'll be playing through at least 5 or 6 levels that I found on the Megaman Maker official Discord server. Starting out with this one, Battery Factory by Octodude, with 9 plays and a score of 4. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part, please leave the level name and level ID in the comment section below, or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are timestamps for every level that I cover in each of these parts. So here are all the weaponry that I have access to. Seems to be a nice set. Also a charge shot. I always love it when I have the charge shot available. Seems to be the Megaman 5 or 6. And also, judging by the name, this is going to be a battery factory, so of course this is an electric Roadmaster stage. Let's see if it's a fortress level or it's a traditional level. That was my fault. I should have waited there. That was my fault again for not waiting. Well, that's a really close by checkpoint placement. I'm not complaining, but usually we place a little bit further. Now, Derelict All-Star did talk about how if the blockies are a little bit unfair in Megaman Maker, and how they don't include it in stages if you have access to a charge shot. I'd still place blockies in stages that have access to charge shot, because with blockies, you either have to shoot them once with your normal pellet and you're forced to wait, but if you want to destroy them outright, you need to charge up your buster shot, and because of that you have to wait for a short while for it to charge up, so it does provide some level of delay. Oh, what's this? Do we have alternate pathways? It seems that we do. Only one way though, so let's see what's up here. Assuming I can get back over here. I guess I'll have to play through the stage at least once more to figure out what's going on. A bunch of special weapons. Did that bomb just despawn that enemy just outright without exploding there? It looked to be. Wait a minute. Oh, this is where the pathways loop up with each other. So I know where to look out for. That's good. So far this stage has been a pretty neat traditional level, more of an electric Roadmaster. Sadly we don't have electric Gabioles or more electric type enemies like the Elekans. At the very least we have those electric enemies from Elekman stage, so there's that. Plus all of the Sparkman tile set. Oh goody, even more alternate pathways for this stage. That enemy can be quite annoying to deal with if its top is released or not destroyed. Oh, never mind, the pathways do converge over here. In fact, we can deal with this hot dog from behind, and it's basically just weak. Okay, so that's where that boss door leads up to. If we took the lower, longer route, we get access to an E and M tank. I do approve it. After all, I think that the secret routes or alternate routes should be more rewarding to go through. And now we fight Sparkman at the top of this factory, I think. At least it looks like a factory. Plain old Sparkman, so let's see what his weakness is. He's really weak against the perfect freeze. Fair enough. So that was the end of the first pathway at Battery Factory. A pretty neat electric stage, although in terms of design I'd say it's average to above average. Or to rephrase the statement, it's par to above par based off my own standards. from here on out, I'll try switching my terminology from average and above average to par and above par, because average implies that this is what an average Mega Man level quality should be. But as I've repeatedly stated throughout several previous parts, with the existence of Sturgeon's Law, where 90% of the levels are below average, it doesn't really make sense, then the average bar is really low. A better way of saying is that the par, basically from here on out, whenever I say average or above average, substitute it with par and above par, where par is the standard set by the original Capcom NES titles, and so on. Although Capcom themselves sometimes fail to meet their own standards or par. And because I have access to special weaponry, let's use stuff like the charge kick in order to get through the stages quicker. I really like how the charge kick just makes minced meat out of all the blockies. Okay, time to go on the left pathway. Ah, conveyor belts. Neat. I would have liked one more enemy type in this section other than all these walkers or prop tops or whatever they're called. At the very least, for taking this longer route, we get a free E-tank, so it does make up for this. Before I exit out of the stage, let me see where this boss corridor directly leads to. I think it directly leads up to that hot dog encounter, but apparently no, it's actually a room filled with all these beaks, or screw bombers, I mean. Yeah, that's where it leads up to. So let's exit out of the stage. Overall, it's a par to above par stage, at least a 5.5 or 6 out of 10 in my book. So, good work, I would say, Octodude. I think I played one of your levels before in the popular queue. I'm not sure though. Okay, second up is Warp to Cave, New and Improved by Burns, 8 plays and a score of 1. I expect this stage to have a lot of Galaxy Man teleporters, and Plant Man is the boss. Also, the loading time was a bit longer too, so this stage is going to take a bit longer. Hopefully I can complete up to 5 stages in this part. Time Slope, Crash Bomber, Mega Man 2 physics, that means no sliding, no charge shot. I can live without the charge shot, but the sliding, well, it's one of the things in Mega Man I look forward to a lot because it really speeds up gameplay. Especially with more durable enemies like the hotheads. Oh goody, killer missiles. I mean killer bullets. You get what I mean. So here are the introduction of the Galaxy Man teleporters, first in a safe environment. Although relatively safe because you can get hit by the spine if you're not careful. Let me guess. Yep. I knew that was gonna happen there. Crash Bomber time. So far, so good. Wait a minute. Aha, I knew there was gonna be a secret over there. Because there was a platform just jutting out over there. I guess this will lead up to an ERM tank or something. But we'll see. And we skip past all the Power Masters by taking the correct teleporters. That's neat. And I can deal with the Power Muscler, or as I keep calling them, the Power Musclers from here easily. Yep, there's the E-Tank. I'll just restart a checkpoint because it's faster. Thank goodness I hit the checkpoint here. Otherwise I don't think there's a way to get back. Well, you can, but you need to detonate the count bombs in the correct fashion, which I failed to do over there. So far so good. The count bombs as well as the Galaxy Man teleporters were introduced in safe enough environments first, so I do approve of that. And the challenge progression is getting gradually harder. Where does this lead up to? Well, I hope I took the right route and didn't skip anything, because I can't reach up to there anymore. So far so good, this is an interesting traditional level. And here we gotta be quick on our feet in order to make our way back. Plus we also have the method of this exiting and re-entering the screen so we don't get soft-locked here, so another plus to the author. I'm really liking how the stage is building up its challenges, introducing the count bombs, as well as the Galaxy Man teleporters. Especially the count bomb challenges, those are really neat. Oh, I see. That was my fault. I should have paid more attention there. At least there's a checkpoint right over here, so I'm not complaining. I see. Just make sure to keep holding right, and I'll succeed. No jumping. A bit of tap jumping is required there, but I don't mind it. Shame I can't access the M-Tank, but I don't think I'll need access to special weapons here. Not yet, anyway. Oops. That was my fault. I failed to hit the jump button on time. At the very least, checkpoint placement is more on the abundant side, so I'm not complaining much. Oh, that's how you reset it. How do we get up there? Oh, I see. It was a lot easier than what I was thinking it was going to be. I need to reverse the flow over there so I wouldn't end up falling into the spikes. Or ramming into the spikes, more specifically. This is a really creative stage. I'm really liking it so far. It earns a 7 or 7.5 in my own book. Plus the difficulty is doable for an average Mega Man player. It's not on the horribly difficult side, so that I also do approve of a lot. And none of the challenges get too unbearable, they're all perfectly reasonable, and most of them give you enough time to look at the situation before you go forward. Like this one, for example. It builds upon the earlier challenges and makes them more difficult, because before we had spikes, but now we have bottomless pits. Whereas with the spikes we had some forgiveness due to the explosions, now we don't. Because getting hit by an explosion over a bottomless pit is instant death. Even though the stage is called Warped Cave, I like it more for its count bomb challenges more than its warping challenges. It feels like the warping is a secondary gimmick in some way. Down we go. Well, I guess all of these pickups are for the boss fight coming up. Yep. Plant Man. His weakness seems to be actually the time slow for some reason. Although the crash bomb works as well. And you need to be careful not to jump into any of the teleporters because it'll launch you right into the next spike. Overall, this was definitely my favorite level of the stage. A nice level of challenge progression, introducing the count bombs and Galaxy Man teleporters first in safer environments, then in more difficult ones, and then concluding with a nice mixture of the two. Plus, it never got unbearably hard. Sure, the stage started a bit easy, then became more difficult, but it's totally manageable for a traditional Mega Man player, an average traditional Mega Man player. So I will definitely give this a thumbs up. It's a 7 or 7.5 at the very least out of my book. Great work, Burns. Third on the lineup is Surf's Up by Moistman, 12 plays and a score of 2. I suppose this will be an oil slider level, judging by the title. And I was right. We also have access to a limited Mega Buster as well as Thunder Beam. And yes, Thunder Beam is the actual name of the weapon you get from Elecman. It's not Elect Beam. Oh goody. I'm gonna be silent then. Well, I thank you for all the power-ups, but there really should have been a checkpoint nearby. I mean, there should have been a checkpoint right in the middle of that segment. I mean, there was a perfect spot for it, and having to repeat that first segment a few times was a little bit annoying. Oh, I guess this is the way to skip past the earlier segment, because I did notice there was a footholder there. I really don't want to repeat this stage though, it was getting a little bit too frustrating for my own taste. This was the first challenge level of this part, and it wasn't too bad, but oh boy, some of the spike hitboxes as I mentioned, they're a bit of a problem, especially in some of the outtakes. I made this stage look a lot easier than it actually was by taking the upper route. Although I had to be a little bit careful with the Sparkman platform so I wouldn't get crushed against the ceiling, that's why I was fidgeting a bit. I don't know what to say about this stage. If it got more difficult, well, I would have downvoted it, but it honestly didn't appeal to me enough. I preferred the surfing challenges to have a bit more checkpoints and a bit more forgiveness. Here, and in most parts of the stage, if you failed, it usually resulted in instant death by falling into a bottomless pit, or getting embedded into a spike or running into a spike. So my apologies, Moistman. Forward up is The Transforming Temple by RickyTSL with 49 plays and a score of 10. That's a pretty good score. Seems to be a medium length level. Once again, I echo my earlier suggestion to have a number of rooms counter for every level in the description so I know how long each level will take. Okay, Mega Man 5 Charge Shot. At least this game's rendition of Mega Man 5. Oh, goody. At least these are green force beams. We have Pharaohman's background and Snake Man's tile set, and the caterpillars from Mega Man 6, and the screw bombers from Mega Man 1. Thankfully we have stuff like the Silver Tomahawk to deal with all of this rabble. Oh. I was a bit worried I was gonna fall into a spike there. There was probably a secret I missed up over there because I noticed a hole that I could have charge kicked into. But I was too worried about falling into spikes, plus there was that odd glitch earlier. You may have saw it where I temporarily teleported Mega Man upwards for some reason. Oh well, nothing too problematic. Here's another instance of a hot dog placed in an unfortunate location. And there's a bit of a problematic teleport location, as you saw over there. What's up there? Oh, and this was the crevice I was talking about earlier, or the hole. By sliding in there using the charge kick, you can get 4 small weapon energy pickups. I want to see what's on the right over here. I guess that was another alternate route or something. Oh, this is called a transforming temple because it has all these alternate routes, I think. Because we first started out in Fairman's Temple, then a more volcanic area, and now we're in a metallic base. I get the reasoning now. I just get the feeling there are a lot of secret exits or secret pathways I'm missing on each side of the room. And now we're in Time Man stage, as evidenced by the background. At the very least, we can see the previous segment's tile set merging in with the next one. Not as good as some of the Magmal 2 levels, but at least there was an attempt over there. Now we're effectively in a clock tower, finishing up the stage. And because I didn't see any pathways loop up with this one, I suppose those were just there for extra goodies, like extra pickups, E and M tanks. Time Man. What's your weakness? Okay, Elect Beam. At least if I keep him stuck here, there's no problem. So that was the end of the Transforming Temple. I would rate it the same way as Battery Factory, at least a 5 or 5.5 out of 10. It's a par stage, but I would like to see something more. It honestly didn't appeal to me that much, so I'm not sure if I should give this a thumbs up or not. I'll be generous and give this a thumbs up because this was not offensive, and it wasn't painful to play through. Alright, fifth up is Short Boring Green by Cuphead is Really Hard with 84 plays and a score of 24. The highest scoring level of this part. Search Snake and a whole bunch of stuff. This is going to be a really short stage judging by the name. Everything is green here, so... Oh yeah, I forgot I can warp through the ground. I get the feeling this is like a one-screen puzzle or something. Oh, and that's for resetting the room if I make a mistake. Thank you, level creator. Oh, okay, I see there. I'm not sure what that turret spinning top platform was for, but okay. Oops. This is a short level, a very compressed level, but it's certainly more difficult, as you saw over there, and the price for failure is resetting the stage. But this is a shorter stage, so I won't mind it too much. Plus there's a teleporter at the beginning, so it isn't too bad. It's just getting your timing down, which is a little bit of a challenge. Or can be a bit of a challenge, especially with that upper red octopus battery. Or red Susie. Yeah, I don't get why we need that turret spinning top over there. The second one is more than adequate. Okay, here's the second segment of the stage, where we need to fight Napalm Man. Oh, I see there. Can I reach him? I guess I can, but I need to get him in the right position, though. Because I know I hit him there somehow. Yeah, like that. I see. I just need to keep scrolling those snakes back on to him, and that's how I'll win easily. I'm not sure if that's intended, but hey, it works. I guess I glitch out the collision detection somehow. There we go. I guess if I jump just at the right time, I despawn that block, which allows the Surf Snake to just snake in and defeat Napalm Man easily. Whereas, the way you're supposed to do it is keep jumping on those tops, and fire the final Surf Snake on top of that indestructible block, and rinse and repeat by jumping back down, through the teleporter, through that dangerous force beam segment, and then respawn all the tops. That's how I think you're supposed to do it, but I managed to glitch it right through. At the very least, it was a pretty neat short level. Sure, the gimmicks were rather compressed and the price for failure was pretty punishing. Checkpoint placement was still fine, and it didn't feel too bad for restarting. Sure, it was more difficult than the average Mega Man level, but it was short but sweet, and nothing became too unbearable. So, good work, Cuphead is really hard. Alright, sixth and final level of this part is Mega Man Reborn Crashman by Pokebro, 70 plays and a score of 26. Another really high scoring level. Let's see how this one fares. This is going to be a bit longer, and judging by the name, this is going to be a remastered version of Crashman's stage. This time we start out by diving below into a waterfall. We have a combination of the waterfall from behind and Crashman's tile set. Although the waterfall is kind of making some of these areas distracting. Suddenly we have a water segment for some reason. Okay then. How do I get up here? Oh, forced usage of the rush coil. Well, there's that, I suppose. I'll mark this off as still being a traditional level because a few of the Dock Robot Master stages in Mega Man 3 forced rush coil usage, plus it's a minor one, so I'll look it over for here. After all, rush coil has been a special weapon for most of Mega Man history ever since Mega Man 3. Outside of Mega Man 8, I think, and Mega Man and Base. And now we're in Flashman's Caverns. Unfortunately, the crash lifts aren't part of Mega Man Maker yet, so we can't use that gimmick in this stage. And now we endlessly fall down a series of screens. Okay then. Is this intended? Well, at the very least, the crash lifts are going to be added in the next update, that being version 1.2, so that'll rectify the stage. I don't know why we need to fall down at least what seemed to be over a dozen empty screens. You could have just put a Galaxy Man teleporter and shortened it. I don't know why we need to fall down that far anyway, because we don't have much of the stage left anyway. We just have the Crashman encounter, who is completely glitched if I just stay still. I mean, just look at it. Crashman is refusing to move, refusing to fire. This boss was a cakewalk. Also adding to this fact is that Crashman is weak against the Mega Buster, especially the charge shot. I don't know what to say about this stage, but it felt really bland. Honestly, this was kind of the most bland level of this part. Even Surf's Up, even though I didn't like it as much, it did do something unique by using the oil slider and had an alternate pathway, one being easier, more precise, the other one being a bit longer, but more difficult. So I can't really give this a thumbs up. I honestly don't understand why I got such a high score. I suppose it's because of the title. After all, it didn't even feel like a remake version of Crashman's stage. It felt like, well, at first it started out like it, but then it felt like a water stage, then Flashman stage, and felt like it petered off. I couldn't really get a conclusive team or progression of this stage, it just felt bland. It was inoffensive, but bland. Sorry, Pokebro. So overall, my favorite level of this part would definitely be Warped Cave New and Improved. I really liked the Galaxy Man Teleporter and Count Bomb challenges. That's why I kept giving it a score of over 7 or 7.5 out of 10. It's a really neat puzzle level in a way. Puzzle/traditional level, because you didn't need to use any of the special weaponry. And an honorable mention goes to Short Boring Green, which was a short green-oriented stage where you had access to only the Surf Snake, thus making it more of a special weapons-oriented stage. It was the opposite of boring for me. It was really fun and creative, and even though making mistakes was rather punishing, because the stage was rather short, and there was a checkpoint before the boss fight, it was fun. So in the next part, I'll probably be covering a bunch of more levels from the most popular queue, or doing several viewer submit levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!